Hello, this video is the final episode in a three-part series on geometrical inversion variations in the Schillinger system of musical composition. The first part was about inversion of melody, while in the second part we looked at the combination of melody and harmony. In this episode we extend the concepts from the previous episodes and will create a continuity through the combination of all geometrical inversion types. You'll see a number of complete orchestration examples. The Schillinger system of musical composition context is discussed in part 1 in the series. The subject of this tutorial series is variation of music through geometrical inversion. This overview diagram guides you through the tutorial series. In part 1 the focus was on the 4 fundamental inversion forms and the creation of melodic continuity. Part 2 added the element of harmony and techniques for improving the voice leading after applying strict geometrical inversion. In this episode we will create a continuity of melody plus harmony and look at orchestrated examples of instrumental forms. Newcomers to the Schillinger system may want to watch this video. You may support this tutorial channel by either subscribing or by making a PayPal donation on my website. This tutorial is based on a single chord continuity with specific characteristics. A sequence of geometrical inversion forms yields the continuity, to which we then add melody. From this framework we generate instrumental forms that we finally orchestrate in different musical idioms. The source material is a chord progression with 4 minor triads. These are 2 pairs of second-order Riemannian transformations, C minor to A flat minor and G minor to E flat minor, where the roots from each pair lie a major third 4 semitones apart. On my channel you'll find a set of tutorials on Riemannian transformations. The variable inversion position voicing yields a chromatically descending bass part, C to C flat to B flat. The tonic degree and mirroring axis for the strict geometrical inversion operation is pitch class C. Through geometrical inversion, minor triads become major triads. Also 2 pairs of second-order Riemannian transformations. Simultaneously we obtain a chromatically ascending lead part. The pedal point phrases on the right will be discussed later. The 2 4-triad progressions are the basis for a number of processes. First, there's a modification of the harmony source material. By extending the chromatically descending bass part, the final chord becomes a 4-part harmony, G minor over A. This chord structure is more dissonant than its predecessors. Notice the minor 9th interval between bass and lead. The same approach applied to the inversion form with the major triads is shown at the bottom and sounds thus. Let's proceed with a longer continuity. This diagram shows how to find the sequence of chords when applying a series of inversion operations. The top row of structures is the original chord progression, in our case the set of 4 minor chord structures. The bottom row represents the inversion variant, the major chord structures. Thus a progression in original form moves in the top row from left to right, the retrograde from right to left. Similarly, in the bottom row inversion form progression is from left to right and retrograde inversion from right to left. Note that these progressions are considered cyclical. When reaching the last chord S-N, the next chord in the sequence is the original structure S1. This happens at both ends of the 2 rows. For certain inversion type changes, we move from upper to lower row or in the opposite direction. For example, at chord Sn in the original progression, In case of a continuation in inverted form, we move right in the lower chord sequence. Similarly, at SIM in the lower row, if we proceed with the retrograde operation R, we jump to the upper progression and move in the left direction. Changing to the original form implies a move to the right in the top row. Thus I created the example progression. Unfortunately, when doing the quality control of this tutorial, I noticed a few errors, not adhering to the diagram presented in this section. I'll leave these for you to spot. This is the example 13-chord structure harmonic continuity, using all 4 fundamental geometrical inversion forms, and the following set of coefficients for the number of chords in each subphrase: 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Thus, we obtain the longer harmonic continuity, a combination of triads and the occasional 4-part chord. The animation demonstrates how to step through the diagram and generate the subphrases. We have achieved a longer progression from a limited set of structures, carefully designed in original and inverted form, with specific characteristics. These 2 forms have different, probably contrasting musical character, and this continuity creation technique allows you to switch between the 2, maintaining harmonic consistency and recognizability. Now it's time to start and use this harmonic continuity. In the previous section, we obtained the voice leading as is, with many leaps and parallel motion in the parts as we change geometrical inversion type. This amplifies the harmonic contrast when changing from original to inversion form and back, and we may exploit this feature later in the instrumental form. Listen once more to this progression, where now I've marked the score voice leading features in the transitions from one subphrase to the next. This has consequences for orchestration, as Schillinger notices in his book. The shorter subphrases are best orchestrated with different instrument groups. I demonstrated this earlier in my instrumental form introduction tutorial. In the example instrumental form with harmony as the primary element, the chord progression is only very slightly modified. See the opening and closing chords and the middle phrase. I've added neighboring passing tones and inserted chromatically moving parts with melody character. Also, there are arpeggiated chords. The orchestration changes with each inversion type change. Each subphrase has a different character. This is an overall light and soft texture for woodwinds, strings, some brass and percussion. Whereas in the first example the focus was on the harmony, from here on we will add melodic elements to the extended chord continuity. There's a motif used as melodic form, and we'll create occasional denser chord structures plus add pedal point. We start with the latter aspect. The texture is enriched through the addition of a pedal point pitch. In the original setting, find the top part pedal point pitch F natural. This becomes a bass pedal point pitch G natural for the strict inversion variant progression. In one of the previous sections, I showed the continuation of the chromatic bass part as an option. Thus we obtain the chromatically descending bass part C to C flat to B flat to A, and a highly dissonant 4-part closing chord G minor over A in the basic progression. In measures 5 to 8, notice the addition of a chromatically moving inner part, E flat to D to C sharp, which means a variable density and more dissonant harmony with 4 to 5 parts. Measures 9 to 12 show the addition of the upper pedal point pitch F natural, plus octave transposition of the chromatically moving part to the bass. After applying the strict geometrical inversion transformation operation, we obtain measures 13 to 24, which also has variable density, pedal point and chromatically moving parts. By enriching the basic setting, we have obtained a set of phrases with variable density between 4 and 7 parts. Now we focus on the melody domain, where a continuity is created from a basic melodic form. We are back at the top in the overview diagram. Let's add a motif, a melodic form as lead part. This is based on dissonant extended chordal functions, flat 5, flat 7, flat 9 and 11. There's more about Schillinger's melodic form and continuity in many other videos on the channel. But as an introduction, go to the episode about pitch scales first group. Through melodic form pitch order permutation, we derive 4 statements, thus creating a melodic continuity. The permutations were chosen such that they generate tight note connections as the harmony changes. Also, I aimed for an overall ascending melody shape. In the geometrical inversion variant, the 4 chordal functions, now in the bass, become a different melodic form, with chordal functions flat 5, 6, flat 9 and 9. Again, the chain of 4 permutation yields a melodic continuity, with some tight notes and now overall descending bass melody part. This continuity closes with the inversion position melodic continuity, now in the lead part. The closing phrase has 7-part maximum density, as it also contains the lower pedal point and the chromatically moving bass part. Note that all phrases contain structures from the set of 4 triads, the starting point of this design. See section 2.1. We'll use this as the source for a variant that moves through the 4 geometrical inversion types. Part 2 in this tutorial series presented the nearest note approach for improving voice leading. The modified harmony, shown here as process step in the overview diagram, will generate more stepwise motion in parts, less leaps. Return to the 13-chord structure harmonic continuity from section 2.2, shown at the top. Then apply the nearest note voice leading technique at the points of geometrical inversion type change. Occasionally there are doubled parts to prepare for higher part density in the following phrase. The lead part diminished fifth leaps in measures 1, 2 and 7 to 8 have disappeared. Compare the original with the modified chord progression. The smoother part movement thus obtained lends itself to a more flexible orchestration process, not necessarily requiring different instrument groups within each phrase. Given the modified chord progression with melodic elements, we return to the process of creating instrumental forms and orchestration. I once again refer to this introduction tutorial. I'll demonstrate alternative settings of the continuity. The first example is an instrumental form for orchestra. We start from the score fragment with all musical elements in section 3.3, the chord progression with geometrical inversion forms, pedal point, chromatically moving inner parts and melodic forms. Add these elements to the 13-chord structure harmonic continuity with nearest note voice leading from section 3.4 and turn it into an instrumental form for orchestra. Identify the 6 subphrases, how the melodic continuity flows through the top, middle or bottom layer, and where to find the pedal point and the chromatically moving inner parts. Listen to the result. I locally modified the rhythm to prevent steady quarter note monotony. Also, there are quite a few rubato phrases and tempo changes. The addition of the melodic continuity increases the dissonant character of this example considerably, an effect that can be somewhat diminished through the orchestration. The remaining overall idiom is achieved through the juxtaposition of the minor and major chord structure phrases. We've come quite a long way from our original set of 4 triads. A completely different mood is obtained in the next and final instrumental form example. It is the same continuity as before, but now set for a set of synthesizers with occasional orchestral instruments and a steady beat percussion groove overlay. In the end result, melodic forms are embellished with 16th note turns, glissando patterns, and again some dotted note rhythms. In the instrumentation, I changed the synthesizer preset when more remote chordal functions create a bitonal triadic structure. There's quite a few of these in the setting, marked in the score. See for example measure 2, with the G-flat major triad. In measure 5, the E-flat minor triad, and measure 7, B minor triad, and so forth. It's the same source material, but we've obtained a completely different idiom. wrapping up this 3-part series, allow me to take a sidestep and explain where the thumbnail and title page background image for these episodes came from. Top left is the main building of the Woudagemaal pumping station in the Friesland province of the Netherlands, originally built in 1920 and now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is named after its designer. It's the largest still active steam-powered pumping station in the world. See the boiler room top center. It is used in high water level situations in the Frisian polders. The maximum pumping capacity is 4,000 cubic meters per minute. See the pumping room top right, and active a couple of times each year. Operators must start firing up the engines a couple of days early. The design incorporates Art Deco and rationalistic elements. It is also a museum and used for cultural events, like the Flood Music Theatre production in 2023, shown at the bottom. I used the building a lighting image from that production to demonstrate inversion operations in the spatial domain, swapping left, right and top, bottom, so that you know. In this video tutorial series, you learned about geometrical inversion as a variation technique in the Schillinger system of musical composition. We started with the fundamentals, the 4 inversion types: original, inversion, retrograde and retrograde-inversion. A continuity is created as a combination of the fundamental forms. When applied to a melodic phrase, we will likely adapt the original rhythm in order to obtain a more musically valuable result. Schillinger extends this approach to harmony. Inverting the harmony will probably require swapping the parts in order to control the quality of the lead and bass part. We may use the set of vertical stacking options for combined melody and harmony. Nearest note voice leading is a suitable improvement when writing harmony. We combined melody and harmony in several continuity examples and discussed the characteristics, such as the consistency in musical idiom obtained from the prior design structures. Instrumental form examples demonstrate the result of applying the geometrical inversion variation approach for creating longer musical phrases from a limited source material set. In case you have not done so yet but like this video, please subscribe to the channel. I do welcome support for my tutorial production efforts. The link in the description below points to the PayPal donation button on the website. There you'll also find more content and a collection of ebooks. Thanks for watching.